Hello everyone, welcome to Bonsai Den Haag. Today I'm going to show you how I turn this raw material into a pre-bonsai. First, what you need to do is find a nursery nearby your house or in the region where you live. And what you try to do is see if they sell some garden trees that are suitable for bonsai. In this case I have here one Juniper chinensis, blue juniper, very traditional and very great as a starting material. So I went to this nursery and I'm going to show you right now when I was there. So let's go. So we just arrived here at the nursery. I'm going to look for some nursery stock. So as you can see, it was a beautiful location there. They had a lot of material, so I was able to choose 10 from that nursery and bought it for quite affordable price, so around 15 euros per tree. So I bought 10 of these trees. I bought 5 of these blue junipers and another 5 of another variety that they had there. If you were looking for some affordable starting material just to get used to the hobby, and this is a great kind to start with. Alright, so the first thing what you're gonna want to do is try to clean the tree, and what I mean by that is removing, you probably already saw some other videos, so you remove all the stuff that are dead inside, what we call the crotch growth, so the foliage that grows very close to the branch. Remove those. So what kind of tools you will need? Scissor to cut branches, and this kind of scissors you can find everywhere in every Home Depot or whatever, or you have a garden center, you can have one of these scissors. Another thing that I'm gonna use is a branch cutter for more thicker branches. This one is an extra. You can probably also do with this kind of young material everything with only the scissors. And another thing that we're gonna use is the wire cutter, and again we can also cut the wire with a scissor like this, because we're not gonna need thick wire. And I'm gonna use this tool to make dead branches and remove the bark of some of the branches that we're gonna turn into dead wood. And of course we're gonna need some wire. I have here 3 different gauges, 1 millimeter, 1.5, and I think this is 3 or 4, and probably you don't need more than that for this kind of material. This tree is very flexible, so you won't be needed anything like that. And I will also be using this root cutter. First thing is to find a nice root base. So I'm gonna give you a close-up. So what you want to try to do is to remove the soil around the base and try to find where the root base starts. So that's the first step that I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna first remove this part of the pot so that we can remove the soil and find what's the best root base of this tree. Here we go. We found now the root base, and what you're gonna do is remove the roots that are roots that are sticking out, you remove those to make the surface clean. And the next step that I told you before is to clean up the tree. So you start from underneath and you go up, and at the same time you are looking what the possibilities are that the tree will give you. So by cleaning it up, you can look it up. Okay, which branch I can use, which branch has some ramification already, which branch are too leggy. This is quite a good quality material, so you have to look it up in the nursery that you go for something similar that has a lot of, that is very healthy, has a lot of branches, so that you have also options to work with. And sometimes you will find something that is on a corner or that nobody wants, and with creativity you can get a long way. So that's the nice thing about this hobby, is that you can really use your creativity and relax. So that's what I like to do. So clean it up. By doing this, you are getting to know the tree. What is the tree? What are the possibilities? This tree, since the tree has a small trunk, you also have to take that into account. That you then, the nicest thing to do is to make, not to make a tall tree, but try to compact the tree, a powerful tree. So, and then you are at the same time thinking about what kind of style there are in bonsai. The Japanese and the Chinese, they are, since this is an Asian art form, there are already some kinds of guidelines that you can, like making a painting, making a perspective, you know, that you can make some lines to get the perspective correct. The same things apply with the bonsai tree. So you have these standard models, so to say, so different styles that most of the trees grow into. So like a broom style, so the tree that has a straight trunk and grows like a broom. And this tree can, with this variety of juniper, so this Juniper chinensis, the blue juniper, you can actually make whatever style you want. But some style, like a broom style, will not be very fitted for the tree. So you could make like a cascade style, that the tree is in a kind of a mountain and all the branches are coming down. Or so you can see for your tree what does your material offers you do. And in this case we have a very straight trunk at the base. So what I'm going to do is probably try to choose another leader, so another branch that grows thinner, to make the tree, make sure that the tree has more taper to it, and then I will make informal upright. And I think bonsai is evolving a lot. It's getting more and more popular in the Western world as an art form, as a way to relax. Yeah, you can always work on a tree, and you become more aware of nature. It's very relaxing to do. So since we have the base here, I don't know if you can see it, this is probably the strongest base of the tree. And now what I'm gonna do is make some decisions about the branching and about the design of the tree. So one thing that you can start doing is, okay, now that I know more or less the height of the tree, that will be around here, I will cut down this branch. We won't need this length. So, and these are also good branches to make cuttings from. So if you want to propagate, maybe you in the future you are starting with bonsai, you have a better material than this one, like an old juniper, you can start making cuttings with this. So what you do is you cut it like this and you stick it in the ground or in sand. You can also use a little bit of root hormone if you want, but you can also just do it like this. And you have some cuttings to later maybe make some grafts, so on older material. It's a good material to make cuttings with. I can show you one cutting that I made. This cutting is from 2 years ago, so it's already growing well, very vigorous. So if you think, oh, I need some cuttings, you can just cut it, stick it in the ground, and it will grow like this. Alright, so now I made most of the cleaning. I shortened some branches. Next step is to make the real decision about the design. So we already established that the best base is around here. So that you can see. So around here will be the best base for this tree. And then we can see what are the possibilities. I can either tilt the tree to give it more movement, or I think what I will do is I will tilt it like this, and then I will make the tree more or less this height. So we will be applying some wire until here, and then I will gin the top, and I will make a harmonious design, so where the tree and the first branch all goes to the same direction. So let's start with that. Let me first give you a close up of the tree. So what I want to do is tilt the tree like this, and we'll make the first branch some around here. We'll probably be taking this one off because it's too low, and then we can work our way up, and the tree will be more or less and then I will make from this the new top, and we can turn this. I think I want to make from this a deadwood feature. And I also see right here that we have this thing sticking out, and I will make also a deadwood feature from that, and therefore I will use a sharp knife. So here I use the sharp knife to create some deadwood section in the tree, so give a little bit more character to the tree. So now we're gonna select the branches that we're gonna need. So as you can see here, the next repotting, the tree will be repotted on this position. So probably the first branch will be somewhere here. I think this one. So this branch and this branch are way too low, so we're gonna make a nice gin feature from those branches. So here we go. So what you do is you take your scissor and remove the bark. There we go. There we have one. And here we have another one. Small piece. There you go. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna select which branch will be the first branch. So here we have our front. Here we have our front. So next thing we're gonna do is select what will be our first branch, but that will be an important branch. And yeah, this one over here, sorry. So we're gonna start with putting with the wiring process. So what you want to do is to wire 2 branches at the same time, and you have to have in mind this idea of uneven triangle that you imagine as a main concept of when you're styling a tree. So I'm gonna put a wire on the tree right now. So what you're trying to do is that you put the wire on a 45-degree angle, and you move your fingers so you hold the branch, and at the same time you put the wire around the branch. And what you're gonna do in the meanwhile is remove the foliage that is in the way of your wire. So this branch will be my counterbalance branch. This one will be my main branch. This will be the first branch of the tree. So here we can see a little bit of how the tree is forming. So we have here a nice root base, and this is the shari or dead wood in the trunk that I made to give more movement, a few dead branches, and we have our first branch moving to the right, and here we have the counterbalance branch, and then the next step will be wiring those branches into place and wiring trunk, which will form the apex. And I will make from these branches here, I will probably make some deadwood feature that's going up. So after we wire everything, it's time to set the branches at the right place. As you can see, I already started doing that once you have placed the wire. So like I said before, we have a tree moving to the left, harmonious design. I made this nice gin on the top. This is also how it happens on nature. A tree that's very old has roots that goes everywhere. So you can imagine if the roots have to bring the water and the nutrients from the soil up to the tree, it will take a long time. And sometimes with in a harsh climate, when the tree is very old, the tree starts to die from the top down. So this is one of the things that happens. So to give a more old impression, I made also gins, and those are the dead woods that are branches that fall off for some kind of reason. And I'm gonna show you how we'll set up the branch. So this is the most important branch, the first branch of the tree. It sets also the tone of the tree and also the movement. And here I have the top of the tree that goes also to the right. So you don't need to wire every little branch, but it's nice to wire as much as possible. And once you wire, it's important that you turn the branches on the direction from the wire, otherwise the wire will start to come off. And another thing that I do once I'm placing the branches is that you take every foliage that are growing down, you take that off, because you want to have nice pads of foliage. And also on the top of the tree, even with the small branches, you want to create the pad formation. And what you want to create is also in the foliage some definition in a fan kind of shape, so that pads are nice and open. So what you do with your fingers, you pick the things that are sticking out. You can also look up and see how the branches are forming, and with sometimes just with pruning you can already create the silhouette that you want. Everything that you can put it in wire, it's nice to put it in the wire. And then the last step is coming with the scissor and make sure that you prune it, the things that are growing down or sticking up. Make sure to make clean cuts, not like this, but in between the needles on this kind of juniper, because otherwise the foliage will turn brown if you cut the tip of the foliage. So I'm always going in between the needles. And then it's a matter of fine-tuning to see if branches are not at the same kind of plane, and place in the correct location. And by this kind of small trees, the smallest adjustment can make a big difference. Alright, clean this up. So here we are at the end of this video. So now you know how you can start practicing. Starting maybe your first tree won't look like this directly, but if you try a few times and let the tree that you didn't like grow in a big pot for a few years and then try again, you get better and better at getting a more feel for the art of bonsai and play around with this kind of trees. And it's very relaxing to do this kind of job on a tree. So we styled the tree. Yeah, I'm very happy with this final result. We have this movement to the from you to the left from one direction, a bit of harmonious design, and I created this chin on the top here, and also another one here sticking out of this branch of the new top. If you like this video, like for more. And I also have a video, if you already have done this before, what to do once you have already let it grow for another season and you come back to a tree, and you can, I will place the link right here, how to restyle again a tree, because maybe a branch will die off, or maybe you will change your mind about a decision that you made right now. So I will place a link here in the screen after the video ends, and I will keep you posted. Maybe I will do a repot of this tree in the future, so that you can see how it will look like in a nice bonsai pot. I will let you know how it will grow. So like, follow for more, and I see you next time at Bonsai Den Haag. Thanks for watching.